Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and today I wanted to talk about loot boxes. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to talk about loot boxes anymore, because, I've kind of talked about it a lot, and for good reason. Loot boxes suck, and, recently we got even more news about, Belgium banning a bunch of Blizzard stuff, but, I don't really have anything new to add to the loot box discussion, so instead, today I wanted to talk about a new Battle Royale game that got announced that I am very confused about. And what I'm talking about is a game called Mortal Royale, and it is based off of a MMORPG called Mortal Online made by Starvault AB. And I've never even heard of this game. Apparently it's decently popular, but the Steam store, because I was just looking at the Steam, page and kind of watching a couple YouTube videos and stuff like that, just to kind of get a general idea of what the MMO was. And it's, I'm going to read the Steam description. Mortal Online is a first-person medieval fantasy MMORPG set in a huge, open, unforgiving world. Choose your race, choose your playstyle, choose a profession, choose where to place your loyalties if you have any. And it has mixed reviews on Steam, but I'm hearing a lot of very different things. From what I can tell, the game is kind of one of the more hardcore MMORPGs. So if that's your thing, then I guess good for you. If it's not good for you. And I feel like that might be where a lot of the negative reviews are. I'm not 100% sure. I've heard a couple people saying that the devs are terrible people, and they're just scamming everybody out of their money and stuff like that. It is like a subscription-based MMO game, so there is that. You can, I guess, play a demo or some sort for free, but overall that's what it is. It's kind of like this medieval fantasy world MMORPG, and there's mixed things about it. But the reason we're talking about it is not because of the MMO or anything the MMO did, because, it's been like an alpha and stuff like that since, I think, 2010, came out on Steam in 2015. We're talking about it because they recently just put up a trailer and announced Mortal Royale. And the special thing about this is, how most Battle Royales are 100 players or, maybe 50 players or, somewhere around there. Mortal Royale is claiming to have up to 1,000 players. So I'm going to read the Steam description for Mortal Royale. And it's Mortal Royale is a battle royale game on a massive scale in a fantasy setting. Up to 1,000 players are thrown into a massive world in the eye of a deadly chaotic storm that is slowly closing in on them. Find and tame mounts to give you not only speed, but a powerful advantage on the battlefield. And the gameplay you're looking at, it doesn't look too promising to me anyways. This really does look like a really outdated engine and game that is just trying to cash in on the Battle Royale thing. And it is going to be free to play. I'm going to be interested in seeing what they're trying to monetize it with. Hopefully not pay to win stuff or anything like that, because if they are, the game's going to just die. But one thing I'm worried about is that it has up to 1,000 players, which means that the game is going to be balanced around 1,000 players. I'm assuming the map is going to be massive, and the games are probably going to take a lot longer than your normal Battle Royale, and people tend to already complain about the length of games like PUBG. That's one of the reasons, there have been a lot of pushes for Battle Royales that have shorter and, faster paced gameplay. And this looks like it's going in the complete opposite direction, and on top of that, the gameplay doesn't look that great to me. Obviously, I have not played Mortal Online. This might be the best gameplay mankind has ever seen, but from what I can see in the trailer, it does not look promising, and whether or not it is the best thing ever, that is the impression a lot of people are going to get, because the fact that the game looks very, very old and outdated, and it doesn't look fun at all to me, it's going to have a hard time getting an audience, even if it's free to play, which is very, very scary, especially for Battle Royale games. We've seen so many examples of Battle Royale games dying because they don't have the players, because, it's not like a card game or even, a FPS like a 5v5, you only really need 10 players to do that. So if you have a player base of, say, 1,000 players, that's okay, because, you know, Quake Champions, as an example, it has right now around 1,500 players, and that's good for that game, because, you know, there is like the 4v4 TDMs and stuff like that. The main game mode is 1v1s or 2v2s, so having that many players in a game like that, especially when the genre is a little kind of a more dead genre, that's actually pretty good. But for a battle royale, you need a lot of players, and especially when the gimmick of this one is you can have up to 1,000 players, you're going to need a huge player base to have that be okay. Because say you only have, I mean, if you have less than 1,000 in the active player base, not only you're not going to have that actually, because it's split up into different regions, so people playing in Asia are not going to be playing in the same games as people in, you know, Europe or America or anything like that. Hopefully not. I'm assuming they're not trying to lump everybody into the same servers. But the thing is even if they have, say, 5,000 players in this game, that would seem, you know, that seems pretty decent, you know. But the thing is if there's going to be around 1,000 players per game, that's only 5 games that can be going on at once. And if the game is a game that is supposedly, it seems like it's going to last longer for the normal Battle Royale game. It doesn't seem like it's going to be something that you hop into and then say you die. You know, maybe you even last a little bit. Maybe you last 5-10 minutes, you kill like 20 people. You know, you die, there's not going to be a game open for you, because there's not going to be that many games open at once. You know, PUBG, you know, it has 100,000 players. Games are 100 players each around there. So when you die, no matter what, if you're the first to die, if you're the last to die, anywhere in the middle, you can immediately queue up and instantly get put in a game. Same with Fortnite, of course. I mean, Fortnite has even more players. But for a game, I just see this being a disaster for so many reasons, and it seems like the reason they're doing 1,000 players is, I believe them. I believe that they could actually handle 1,000 players in a server, because, you know, obviously it's based off of their MMORPG that I'm assuming has been able to hold more than that. But it seems like they're saying up to 1,000 players for the gimmick. And, you know, in hopes of that being what's special about it, and, you know, I guess the medieval fantasy kind of aspect to it could be interesting as well, but there's just too much going on. There's too much it's relying on. You know, it needs an extremely massive player base. It doesn't even need a large player base. It needs a massive player base to actually be successful, because of the queue times and, you know, trying to queue as soon as you die. And also, whether the gameplay is good or not, the game looks extremely outdated, which is going to prevent it from getting a lot of new players, especially casual players. You know, why would someone play your game when they're looking at Fortnite, and Fortnite looks a lot better? It looks, first of all, it looks just cleaner. It looks, you know, higher graphics and everything like that, but it has a more, you know, cheerful, friendly theme and tone, and obviously not everybody likes that, but more people are going to be enticed by that than, you know, something that does look like a 2010 old MMO. You know, and so I am personally very skeptical. I did sign up for the alpha just because I am extremely curious as to how this game works. And, you know, it says it's coming out in early access onto Steam soon, TM. But I am very interested, but I do not. I am extremely skeptical. This is like the most skeptical I have ever been. You know, even talking about other MMOs, or not other MMOs, other battle royales, I don't see any possible way this game is successful, unless somehow they can balance the game around less than 1,000 players, and, you know, the fact that it can go up to 1,000 players entices people. I don't know. I don't see it happening. But I don't know. I've been wrong before about stuff like this, so, you know, and of course I don't want to wish the game to die. You know, it'd be cool if it, you know, becomes popular, because it is an interesting concept. I just don't see it happening. But either way, that's all I really wanted to talk about. There hasn't been a huge influx of gaming news lately. I mean, you had the, you know, Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay that came out. That's pretty cool, that I want to talk about at some point. This just, I needed to talk about this game. Honestly, it's just mind-baffling how another dev thinks it's going to work. But that's it. You know, I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on the game from what you've seen, or somehow, you know, if especially if you have played Mortal Online. I've tried to talk to some of my MMO friends, and nobody's even heard of this game. So if you have heard of Mortal Online, the MMORPG, or you've even played it, please let me know in the comments down below about how the gameplay it feels and how it works, and if you like the game or not. Because I'm assuming no one that watches this is going to have played that, but somehow, if you have played that game or heard about it, let me know in the comments down below your experience with it. I am extremely fascinated about this. But either way, that's the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. New videos come out every Wednesday and Sunday. And like always, guys, hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and see you guys next time.